Hello and welcome to SPSS 4 from Part Q3. So we start here with a question this time. What is the point of writing out these hypotheses here when the results we have above already show us that H0 is false and H1 is true? Well, this is just reiterating the important points from the previous section, which is that we don't know that H0 is true in the population. The hypothesis are referring to the population, which is what we really want to know about. We know that within the sample, yes, it's true. But what about beyond the sample? That's what we're really testing. So the point of the test is to find out whether H0 and H1 are true in the population. Unless stated otherwise, hypotheses are always about the population. That's the thing we're really interested in. So is the mean price of standard firm holidays the same or is it less among all 880 firms? That's why you need a test. Okay, so here's the logic of why the test works. Let's go on to the next section, next part, which is S5, where we actually carry out the test. So we've got a hypothesis. Now we go to the menu, do analyze, compare means, independent samples, t-test. So analyze, compare means, independent samples, t-test. There you go. Oops, it pops up off the screen. There it is. And the thing we're testing is holiday price. So you need two variables. You need a scale variable, which is holiday price, and then you want to know, is that scale variable the same or is it different between two values of the grouping variable, which are eco-license? And at this point, I sometimes find I have to cancel and go back to the data because you have to remember what are the two numbers we're using for eco-license, and I think it's 0 and 1, but we can check. Yeah, it is 0 and 1. Sometimes there's more than two categories, so you need to specify two categories, two values to compare. But here we know it's 0 and 1, so I think 0 means it's a standard license, and 1 means it's the special eco license. Anyway, you put those two values in there, so you've got it ready. Whole price is there, eco license 0 and 1 there. Press OK, and it should do a test. But nothing's happening. Where's the output? Okay, there's the output. Here's the test output. It doesn't quite fit on the screen. Stretch that out a bit. Move that up. Now hopefully you can see that. Okay, so that's done the test. It's done that. It's done S6, done S7. So here's the test results here. Okay. Yeah, and I explained in the text that it's a shame that you get, not a shame, it's good, but it confuses students at first that there are two rows of results. And the sig value, which is otherwise known as the p-value, the probability that you're trying to get, is this one here. So you don't know whether to use 0.131 or 0.263. If for the coursework you need to do for this module, we wouldn't mind which one you use because it's quite an abstract or advanced point. So whichever one you use is fine. And in almost every case, just like here, comes to the same conclusion in the end. But if you do want to know what the difference is, the top row assumes that the variance, the spread in each category is the same. And here, if we look at the box plot or the results, it seems that it's kind of not far apart from the same. It's not far from the same. Maybe maybe there's a bit more spread in one of them than the other. The standard license there is an eco license, but it's not a big difference. And you can confirm this from the variances. Variance is a bit higher in one of them than the other. I can't see which one from that. So it looks like one of them's got slightly higher variance, but it's not that conclusive. As an extra tip, if you're watching the video, in actual fact, what you do in the video is, what it's doing here is a test to see which is the correct one to use. And the null hypothesis is that you use the top row is the right one, and this sig value is like a test within a test. So if this sig value gets very, very small, then you use the bottom row, because it's saying that if the variances are the same, the chance of getting a difference in variances as big as the one we see is quite small, is this percentage, but 27% is not very small, so we can stick with the top row. So unless this is small, stick with the top row. But as I said, we're not going to give you or take away marks depending on which one you use to any great extent. I suppose we might give someone a bit of extra credit if they use the right one and say why, but it won't make much difference because, as you see here, the conclusion is that we can't reject anyway because whether we use the 263 or the 131, they're both not very small numbers. So it's not very unlikely we can see these results if the null hypothesis is true. So the null hypothesis is fine, we don't reject it. Okay, next video I'll go on to doing the next test, S8. For now, thanks for watching.